the area of the Sacramento Pocket. The Sacramento Pocket is home to 27,000 residents and is in danger of a major flood. In a 100-year flood, it is estimated that the pocket will be 17 feet underwater if a levee failure occurs. In 1997, a flood caused 21 levee failures in different areas of Sacramento County. In 1986, water reached 6 inches from the top of the levee. So, in order to deal with this issue of flood, there's lots of different in-place strategies for this disaster. One is flood insurance. Flood insurance basically insures any damage that would be caused from a flood or a levee failure. This basically a solution to the economic hardship that floods can cause. Also, evacuation plans have been set to try to get people out from the pocket in case of a flood. It is estimated that it would take an hour and a half for the flood and a major levee failure to reach 1 foot. This means that within an hour and a half, an hour and a half would be the time that people would have to evacuate the Sacramento Pocket by car. After that, it would be very hard to drive in more than a foot of water. This kind of creates an interesting dilemma. So people have an hour and a half to drive out. Otherwise, they'll be stuck in the pocket for the most part, because walking out of the Sacramento Pocket when there's a flood is very difficult, because the water is very cold, and the Coast Guard estimated that it would take about 2 hours to die from this cold water that Sacramento has. So because it's probably 3 miles till dry land, it would be very hard to walk away or to escape via walking. Thus, we have to find a strategy to evacuate people, or a damage mitigation program that would keep people alive in the time that it would take to evacuate them if they did not escape from the pocket. My proposal is to create a flood disaster kit, or like a safety kit, similar to what is done in earthquakes, in which there's food and water, but in this case is to provide blankets, because in many cases people are going to be wet, they're going to be cold, and they're going to be on their roofs. Because the flood is about 17 feet, a lot of the houses around in this area are 2 stories, so they will have to climb out onto their roofs in order for them to be above the water. But because floods usually occur in storms, they're going to be wet and they're going to be cold, and we have to keep these people alive until they can be evacuated from some other means, like helicopters, boat rescues, or a variety of other instances. So, the way that this would be implemented would be to provide incentives, or provide a stipend to allow people to buy these flood disaster kits, which would include blankets, some food, some water, maybe some flares, so that they can be rescued or more available to be seen. And these kits would be either on top of roofs, or they would be in trees, strategically located trees if people needed to climb, or just in attics. The thing with if they're stored in attics, is there would probably need to be a latch to get onto the roof from the attics, because many people in New Orleans died because they went into their attics and the flood kept rising and they were just trapped under their roofs. So also something proposed is to provide a program which would provide some money or some stipend to allow people to build latches into their roofs, and then also to buy flood kits. So that is my proposed solution, is to provide these blankets and latches onto their roofs or into their attics if they have latches, and to provide a program in which allows people to build these latches into their roofs and allow them to obtain these kits without an economic hardship. So thank you, and that's my project.